Hey guys, just before you begin the video, I just wanted to apologize because this video came out longer than I intended it to be. I just had a lot on my mind, and I just had to talk about it. So I'm sorry, and I hope you enjoy. So yeah. So today's chapter of Eden Zero was something, man. It had everything I wanted and then more. Even though it's so packed with content, it's still fairly simple, except the whole thing with Elsie and Ziggy, that whole conversation made my mind overheat, man. So I hope you can stay with me as I go through the chapter and explain and give my thoughts about every single thing that happened. There will be some timestamps in the description down below if you want to go to certain events in the video, because I don't want you to waste your time because this video will be long. So let's dive into this chapter. So this chapter starts off with some updates across the whole battlefield. We get to see how every single party participating in this war reacts to Nero dying and the end of this massive tragedy. I'm not sure if he'll be an important character or not, but the head of the Didcam company, that bot company that joined with Jaguar, seems like a really respectable person. Emphasis on seems like, because he is still a businessman, and we all know how businessmen are like in Eden Zero, right? Draken Joe, I still suffer from that arc, man. I still suffer. Even though the battlefield is in utter chaos, we can see that the Interstellar Union army is starting to take over and handle the situation as they see fit, which will probably mean that the Aoi Cosmos will fall under their jurisdiction now, since they took over the battlefield and Nero is no longer alive. Hero then cuts off to Elsie as she moves up to Nero's castle, and I don't give a fuck. I fanboyed on my reaction. I'ma do it here as well because Elsie looks so badass. She looks so beautiful, stunning, elegant, thick as fuck. Man, I want her to step on me. Oh, okay. Moving on. So Ziggy and Elsie finally meet, and oh my god, what a reunion this was. So here is the difficult part of this review, because it took me a while to process this whole dialogue between Elsie and Ziggy, because I'm a dumbass, my brain cells, I only have 2 of them and they barely work, so I'm sorry guys, just bear with me. I think I understood everything, just bear with me. So here is what I understand. First off, let's get some smaller things out of the way. Ziggy is surprised to see Elsie on Nero 1 since the planet is swarming with interstellar army goons. And come on Ziggy, come on, this is Elsie. You should know that she don't give a fuck about no interstellar goons. Anyways, enough of me simping for Elsie. Man, I could go on and on about Elsie and how thick she is. Oh my god, I'm still simping, guys. I'm sorry, I'm still simping. Anyways, Ziggy unexpectedly says here that he doesn't want the Empire, which made me flip out at first. Like, what the fuck? Why the hell did you go to all this trouble then? Why did you kill Nero? Why did you go to all of this trouble if you don't want the Empire? But here's the deal. Ziggy reiterates that SHiki made the wrong choice. Like, how is fucking surviving the wrong choice? I still don't understand that. I'll give my whole view out on it in a second, but first let me get done with what Ziggy said. So Ziggy says that his objective for doing all of this is to complete a grand circle of fate, which was broken due to my boy SHiki choosing to survive and not dive dick first into an atomic explosion. Like, what the fuck? He also adds that world number 31 has begun, which threw me out for a loop at first. Like, how did that begin? How did that world begin, man? What the fuck? This whole chapter I was so fucking confused. So here's my take on all of this. It's a bit messy, but I hope you understand my point. So first, I want to tackle the world number 31 initiation. How and when did it happen? Is it because of the whole decision Xiaomi was talking about, the one about choosing one uh, road will lead to two completely different worlds? Or is it because of what we find out later on the chapter? You know, the one with Rebecca using cat lever to reverse time, but not to switch world lines. Do not confuse this with the whole world line switching power. So this is, for me, is highly unlikely to be the cause of this whole thing. Or is it because of the power of gravity? As I said in my reaction, gravity can manipulate everything, from what we saw from Ziggy and SHiki. Remember that whole Drakenjo final clash when SHiki made all the memories from all the timelines fall into him? That thing has still not been addressed, so could it be the cause for this unexpected initiation of world number 31? I'm still not sure about this. It's all a mess. It's not a mess in a bad way. It's a mess. It's a mess in an exciting way. There's so much possibilities. There's so many possibilities. So I'm sure that Hiro will explain it in time, so we'll have to wait. Or could it be that something else entirely is causing this whole thing, like something unrelated to everything, like maybe a character or a mother or the chronophage? Something has to be causing this. One thing is for sure though, I know this will happen, that the timeline we keep jumping to, you know, the one with adult SHiki and Noah, will get addressed soon. We might have jumped into that timeline. I'm not sure that we jumped into it, but that timeline will be explained, because we keep jumping to that timeline from like the Drakenjo arc. We keep going back and forth between our timeline and that timeline, so it has to be explained, and everything about it is still vague, so I'm sure that Hiro will explain it as well. So now, you know the theory that says Ziggy is actually SHiki but from a different timeline? This indeed is plausible, but I don't see how that is relevant to anything, since we know that timelines don't mean anything in this story. Just likewise, even if Ziggy is SHiki from a different timeline, they're still two completely different individuals. I don't see how Ziggy intervening with SHiki's choices will change anything. But we know that we know now that Ziggy is actively trying or tried to influence SHiki's choices. So why is that so? Why is he doing all of this? Could what he meant by completion of the grand circle of fate the death of SHiki, since we know that SHiki is related to mother? Could Ziggy want something out of SHiki that is related to mother? This whole thing is just connected to a bunch of other things. It's like a gum. It's stuck into every single possible explanation. Everything can make sense at this point, and nothing does, if that makes sense to you. It's a mess, man. It's an exciting mess. Now I actually have my own theory about the whole Ziggy is SHiki situation, and this theory is related to Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. If you watched that anime, then you'll know what I'll be talking about. You will know. But I'm not going to do that in this video. I'm going to make another video, since my thoughts, as you guys can see, well, are not organized on this whole situation. I'm still not understanding a lot of things, and I can't pretend like I know something I don't. Like, I can't wrap my head around this whole situation. I'm a dumbass. I'm a dummy. I'm a dum-dum. I can't understand anything. So as for that video, as soon as I crack something up that I think is worth watching, I'll make it. So look forward to that in the future, please. And now let's get back into the review. We can see that Elsie is confused about this whole timeline thing, and understandably so. I'm still confused as to how Ziggy knows about this thing. I thought that only Rebecca, Noah, and Xiaomi knew. So how does Ziggy know about the timelines, the world lines, and maybe he knows about Rebecca as well. So I'm still confused about this whole thing. Anyways, here I just hope, and this is really exciting if it happens. I just hope that Elsie is just confused about the timelines, not Shiki, because she says she says Shiki question mark, and we know that changing the timelines could alter the universe in such a way. I mean, encounters previously thought to happen completely get erased, and I just hope that she still knows Shiki, because if she doesn't, this will make the whole thing with Jesse even more interesting and intense, because we know that we know that the Jesse and Creed plotline was a setup for an arc centered around Elsie and Justice. So if Elsie doesn't know Shiki and the gang, then this makes the whole situation even more intense. Moving on, Ziggy says that humanity will be destroyed because he will make sure that it happens that way. And that line goes back to what Mother said at the beginning of the manga, if you guys still remember this. You know that line about whether Shiki will be a hero or a demon king that will wreak havoc and destroy everything. So I guess it's only a matter of time before Ziggy gets revealed as some kind of version of Shiki. But that's not what's important. What's important here is, why do all of this? What's your end game, Ziggy? What do you have in mind? Hero loves mysteries with his villains. We saw that with the Zeref in Fairy Tail. So eventually everything will get revealed. So I hope that everything pays off, because this whole situation with Ziggy, man, it's messy. It's so messy, but it's an exciting mess, as I said. It's so complex and complicated. It could lead to so many different outcomes. I hope that Hero chooses the correct outcome. Anyways, Elsie here makes a big mistake not killing Ziggy while he's wounded, but she looked badass, so who gives a shit, right? I mean, I'll give her a pass, man. As long as she has those thick fucking thighs, I'll give her a pass on anything. Oh my god, my horniness is showing again. Anyways, going back to Eden Zero, the ship. We see that everyone is still down, and 2 days has passed since the death of my girl. Man, that was so sad. Oh man. Oh. I gotta applaud Hero for handling the characters in such a believable and mature way. Big ups for Weiz as well for not letting his emotions get the better of him and blame Laguna for this whole thing. But instead, he acknowledged that Laguna suffered just as much as they did. Because in this war, there is literally no winners. Casualties everywhere. It was a brutal arc. This arc was such a brutal arc. I dare say even more so than the Draken Joe arc, because here everything is permanent since Cat Leaper has not been used. Back then, only Rebecca had to go through the mental anguish. But now, everyone knows and shall know pain. Like, honestly, I just imagined Pain's voice from Naruto saying, "Everyone shall know pain," because man, this pain is seeping through into my soul, man. I'm skipping over the whole scene with Sister and Hermit because Happy's in it. I kid. It's because it's self-explanatory. It's definitely not because I hate Happy or anything like that. Definitely not that reason. Definitely not it. Now for the big sad moment, Shiki and Rebecca. Rebecca tries to get Shiki to eat since he hasn't eaten 2 days, and here you know for a fact how hard this is for Rebecca, because she went through the exact same mental anguish with the whole Draken Joe incident, and it almost acts as a parallel, showing to all the people who dislike Rebecca how tough she is and how different she is from the constant comparisons to Lucy from Fairy Tale. My respect and love for Rebecca after this scene has soared to the moon, man. I love Rebecca. She's definitely now competing with Homura for me. She's definitely up there. So as you see how Shiki is handling this, he's handling it like a kid because he is a kid. Many will complain about Shiki being such a pussy or a crybaby, because this is how you make a compelling character. You make him seem flawed. You show the reader or the viewer how vulnerable he is. There is room to grow, and there is room to have so many epic moments with him. So I never liked the whole MC, the whole thing with the MC doesn't need to get sad because he has friends, and he's always positive and shit, except with Luffy, because Oda makes it work. Luffy is definitely the only exception for that rule. Anyways, Shiki is far from perfect, but because of that, the future ahead of us is full of many possibilities if Hiro handles this right, and I know he will. Judging by how everything went so far in Eden Zero, Shiki could be one hell of a character. We just have to see him grow. Not just him. We have to watch over Rebecca. We have to watch over Weiz. We have to watch over Homura. We have to just be patient with the hero and let him explore these characters, because we have a really good cast here. So yeah. Anyways, Eden Zero was crazy good this week as well. 10 out of 10 for me. Sorry for the long review. I hope you guys have a nice day. Give me a like if you liked the video. Otherwise, a dislike. Subscribe for more content like this. So, yeah. Bye.